When the editor of the town paper announced a snapshot contest, he didn't know what he was starting. Tom and Martha are a lively pair of kids. When they get it into their heads to enter a contest, you can just bet things will start popping. Their friends, Officer Mulligan and Captain Sweeney, might guess that they too would get involved in the contest, even though they are very dignified men. On the way to Tom's house to get his camera, the kids discuss what kind of picture might win the contest. Maybe a handsome shot of the new town hall. Maybe a fancy portrait of the mayor. Oh, but what's this? There's something here. And the contest is forgotten. Well, what do you know? A polar bear's skin. Now, it so happens that Herman Hustlewaite has chosen this time to deliver groceries to Tom's house. Yes, sir. Herman has come to deliver the groceries. Now, you might not think so to look at him, but Herman is a very bright boy. He's been to school. If anyone tried to tell Herman that he'd ever meet... Anyway, Herman did deliver the groceries. Now Herman has different ideas about polar bears. Mr. Howard, a neighbor of Tom's, gets a look. He thinks it's a good joke. And Herman, well, you know about him. Mrs. Winkleton is another neighbor. Probably she also thinks that polar bears belong in zoos. Yes, no doubt, that's what she thinks. Coming back from Mrs. Winkleton's, Martha remembers the snapshot contest. Why not take the bearskin down in the woods and set up a real action picture? I'll wear my hunting cap, says Tom, and we'll pretend it's a bear hunt. Mrs. Winkleton is not pretending. It's a real bear. She saw it. Even if she does have trouble speaking calmly enough to explain matters to the police. Yes, sir, when the editor announced that snapshot contest, he little knew he was starting a bear hunt. Now, Captain Sweeney and Officer Mulligan had their doubts about this wild polar bear. They figured it was probably some big white cat that had frightened Mrs. Winkleton. But they answered the call with promptness and with dignity. As I said, they're very dignified men. "That right?" says Captain Sweeney. A bear. Well, we'll catch him. Eh, Mulligan? Well, there might be. What do you know about bears? Mrs. Winkleton knows plenty. She saw the bear right there in her window. And if anybody needs further proof, look here. The bear's footprint. No doubt about it now. "We'll take over, Mrs. Winkleton," says Captain Sweeney. "All right, Mulligan, we'd better take notes. Who's got a pencil? I have to keep notes. You got a notepad? Must keep notes. Well, we don't need any notes. Now we'll circle the house and creep up on the bear. You go that way, I'll go this way. Suppose you go this way. I'll go that way. At this crucial moment, Mrs. Winkleton spies an old friend coming down the street. None other than Professor Winthrop J. Beebe. As anyone can tell by looking at him, Professor Beebe knows more about bears than, well, than bears know about Professor Beebe. Back from their diligent search of the grounds, Sweeney and Mulligan are ready to give up the hunt. But Mrs. Winkleton isn't giving up. Neither is the professor. He's just warming up to showing these policemen some real detective work. Aha! Bear hair. No time to lose. Mrs. Winkleton, you get a large pan. Officers, you wait here. I shall return at once. A quick lesson in camera technique, and Martha's all set to take that prize snapshot of Tom, the big bear hunter. There, that ought to win a prize. Or will it? Anyway, it's been hard work and Martha's thirsty. So away to the spring. Well, Mrs. Winkleton has the pan the professor asked for. Sweeney and Mulligan still have their dignity, or most of it. And the professor, what does he have? Yes, it's bear bait. Now, maybe the professor isn't really as crazy as some people think. He has spent a lifetime studying the habits of various wild animals. He knows the particular foods that different animals prefer. The special blend of foods in the pan is known to be especially attractive to bears. That's right, bears. Goodbye, Professor. Goodbye. So that's the end of the bear hunt. Or is it? Unseen by the officers, Martha and Tom return from the spring. Their picture made, they're all set to take the bearskin and stuffing and return home. While the hunters stalk their prey. It's a heavy load, though, and a steep hill. While the hunters stalk their prey. The kids park the bearskin while they cart the rest of the stuff up the hill. While the hunters, moving stealthily, come ever closer. Tom sees them. Now for a real picture. Yes, sir, that's how Tom got his picture of the bear hunt. A picture of those gentlemen of great dignity. Oh, yes, of course it won the contest.